Hey there! On tonight's episode, we chat with a nutritionist, participate in some physical training with the ROTC, and do some off-road racing. All this and more right now. It's Game On. Welcome to Game On. I'm Austin Nennick.
And I'm Stephen Marsh. Well, for those of you who believe that UNLV only has a rivalry with UNR, this is your wake-up call. Special correspondent Alex Bull gives us the details.
The UNLV Rebels and the CSN Coyotes battled it out at the Student Recreation Center to see who would become the champions of the first Desert Bowl Indoor Soccer Cup. What was supposed to be a friendly match between the two schools quickly turned physical with many hits, fouls, and of course, many goals.
They really are passionate about their playing. Sometimes we wish they'd calm down just a little bit, but at the same time, they're having a great time.
CSN took the advantage with a 2-0 lead early on, but it did not take long for the Rebels to bounce back, and by the end of the first half, they were ahead 8-4. Even I had a chance to get on the scoreboard with scoring 6 goals for the Rebels. After a tough second half, UNLV took the cup with a 14-6 victory.
The win for UNLV, it means that we're the best here. We can say that. We can say we're the best.
Not only was the match great competition for the athletes, but more importantly, it was a chance for the two schools to learn about one another.
It gives our students a chance to come and see a larger university, see another intramural program. Most of our kids don't get to travel much, so it gives them a chance to go to another school and play. I think it could be a very positive rivalry between the two schools. It's a good, friendly match. I think everybody enjoys it.
I'll probably be transferring to UNLV during the fall semester, and I would like to be part of it. And hopefully it keeps going every semester, playing against CSN. They have a great team.
Every team has their rivalry, and UNLV and CSN is no exception. Reporting for Game On, I'm Alex Bull. All right, thanks, Alex. Now, if you're looking at the thought of venturing off the beaten path and getting dirty, then off-road racing might be for you. Reporter Bianca Valdez has the story.
The Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series took over the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Racers from all different off-roading backgrounds battled it out on the short course track. Over 25 cars competed for a shot at the series title. Las Vegas local Rob McCachran not only competed in this event, but also competed in LA the same weekend.
You know, be careful what you wish for. I just ended up pulling triple duty, I guess you call it. I was here on Thursday and setting up. Friday we did practice here, got on a plane here in Las Vegas and flew down to LA Coliseum Friday night. So I've done a round trip between here and LA twice over this weekend.
All of the drivers had different backgrounds in everything from motocross racing to go-kart racing.
It's definitely different. You know, you get in the truck and every time I get in there I gotta look and see where all the, you know, the shift cables are, shifter is, and everything like that, and get situated to it. But it usually doesn't take very long, and I end up, you know, just adapting pretty quickly to the truck, and everything works pretty good. I think it's because I've been racing for 30 years. I just get in there and just takes a couple minutes, and I feel like I'm one with the truck.
Women were also competing behind the wheel. Corey Weller found herself in a dangerous situation.
And I wound up with the right rear flat. I kept drifting really hard to the right, I couldn't figure it out, and it just finally blew out. So you got all the really fast guys right behind you, you just kind of you know they're going to get you at some point, but you're just trying to outrun them as long as you can.
For Game On, this is Bianca Valdez.
All right, and it's now time to send it over to Austin, who is sitting down with project facilitator for Ready to Learn, Sandra Watchell. Austin?
Thank you very much, Stephen. That's right, sitting down with Ready to Learn project facilitator Ms. Sandy Wachtel. Thank you so much for being here, Sandy.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on here, everything that we have around us. The big difference, we do not see a food pyramid here anymore.
No, that's right.
What do we see here now?
That's right. This is from choosemyplate.gov, and this is part of our community outreach program, our initiative, all under Keeping Kids Fit, one of the workshops that we do to help educate parents and preschoolers in the community and young people on how to stay nutritionally fit.
Right.
And so if you notice here, 1/2 of our food plate needs to be fruits and vegetables. And, well, we like to do a demonstration about...
Sure. Let's show me about serving size. Serving size obviously plays a big role in this now, not the food pyramid anymore, but the actual plate itself. show me a little about the serving sizes.
I'm glad you mentioned that. So if you would hold your hand out,
Sure.
we will show you. I have some baby carrots here.
Delicious.
Okay, and we're going to count.
Okay,
1, 2, 3. Let's see. What? 4?
You're all good. We'll get it later.
5, 6, 7. I think you could fit some more if you could cup your
Sure.
hand. Okay. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Maybe a couple more.
Just got to keep adding them.
Just got to keep
They're
adding
delicious.
them.
You can never have enough.
They're wonderful. And about a serving for you
Sure.
is going to be, if we just dump it in here, probably a little bit more than a cup, because I
Sure,
probably could have get
add one more in
a
there
couple
for you.
more. Yeah, there you go, the one that fell on the floor. So that would be 1 serving size of vegetables.
Okay.
You want to make sure that you have 5. And 5 servings can be any combination. You could have 4 fruits and 1 vegetable, or 4 vegetables, 1 fruit. It doesn't matter so long as you have 5 a day.
Right, so any combination will work. Obviously, a little bit less for, we talked about adolescents and little kids coming up. It'll be a little bit
Right.
less than for me.
Exactly.
Okay.
Generally speaking, men are a little bit more than a cup. Women are about 3/4 of a cup, as are adolescents, and preschoolers are about a half a cup, depending on how big or small they are.
Another big void I see here, no fats or sugars on the My Plate.
This is a huge difference, and so the American Heart Association and at myplate.gov, you could take a look at the recommended amounts of added sugar to your foods, and you'd be surprised, foods that you think are healthy actually have quite a bit of added sugar.
Yeah, so go ahead and show me.
For instance, well, this cereal right here actually has, each one of these cubes is 1 teaspoon of added sugar. This little box of cereal actually has 2 teaspoons of added sugar. And this favorite actually has 3 teaspoons of added sugar. And just to frame that, so you could understand just what that means in terms of your daily diet.
Yeah.
For a preschooler, it's recommended that they have no more than 3 added teaspoons for an entire day.
And they're getting it in that small box itself.
Just in that small serving.
Wow.
Okay. So how many teaspoons of sugar do you think are in our pop?
It has to be a lot more than it's in the, I believe, those little boxes there, right?
Mm-hmm. Actually,
Let's see how many, when you hold this for you so you can go ahead and put them in there.
yeah, we're going to say 3, nope, 6,
Wow. A lot more than I was expecting.
9, 10.
10 whole.
10 teaspoons of sugar, and the recommended daily amount for a man is no more than 9.
So you're already exceeding it by drinking 1 cola per day.
So if you think of an adolescent, their recommended daily amount is about 5 teaspoons, 5 to 6 teaspoons of added sugar. So if they have a can of pop, they're already doubled their daily intake recommended amount of added sugar.
That's insane. So what are you guys doing, I guess, here as we wrap it up? Here in the community, how can we get in touch with you guys, and how can we see what you guys do?
Well, you could visit Vegas PBS Ready to Learn, our website, and we also have a wonderful 5K coming up November the 16th. So sign up for the 5K.
Oh, sure.
Keep kids fit.
Perfect. And Miss Sandy Wachtel, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure, and thank you so much for teaching.
Thank you.
Time now for a quick break, but when we come back, more of Game On. Stay tuned.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That moment?
It was a moment that changed my life. I'd been training with my team for months, and now we had been called up for the first time. The real deal. Wildfires were getting dangerously close to homes. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
What you doing, Dad?
My favorite thing.
Really, Dad, what are you doing?
Paying bills. Every month a stack of them come, just as regular as the rain.
What's this one?
That's a special one, son. I pay it first.
How come?
It's money for my retirement account. I put some money aside each month just like I was paying a bill.
Wouldn't you rather buy something?
I don't want to work forever, and I don't want you to have to support me in my old age. In a way, I'm buying peace of mind. I'm on the installment plan.
something's not right.
My first symptoms were
constant tingling in my toes.
Double vision. They said you have multiple sclerosis.
Kind of had to get a grasp on reality.
I had to adapt and change very rapidly.
We had to learn how to drive with my hands. Yeah, that was interesting.
A symptom may cause you not to be able to do that anymore. And at one point, I wasn't able to do any of those.
Since I've been cycling, it's definitely helped my walking.
It's a fantastic opportunity to be working together with a common goal of curing MS, and sharing is the key.
All right, welcome back from the break. I'm joined today by Fox 5 Sports anchor John Castillo. Hey, John, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Stephen. You know, the set looks familiar, first of all, the old Fox 5 set. And you guys here at UNLV, I'm a UNLV grad, 2003. You guys have it way better than I did. We were in the basement of the FDH building, if you remember that building, and it's like night and day. So beautiful facility, and I'm happy to be here.
We're pretty lucky here.
Yeah, you are. So take advantage of it while you can.
All right, well, let's start. Well, you obviously you're a UNLV grad, but tell us about how you got to reporting here in Las Vegas.
Well, I was a Vegas native, so I grew up here. So obviously I fell in love with the Rebels and Rebel basketball right away. You know, I was a young kid when they won the national championship in 1990. So I always knew I wanted to be a sportscaster. I'm a Cubs fan. Watched Harry Carey growing up too, so I wanted to be just like him, and I kind of took my path, you know, to obviously arrive where I am today. But started working after I graduated, started working at Channel 13. I was a producer at Channel 13 here in town for a little while, and a photographer. And to get my first on-air job, I had to send out about 150 resume tapes, and back then it was VHS tapes is what you had to send out. So I sent them all over the country, and you know, I got a few bites and a few calls, but nothing firm until finally a buddy of mine who works in Casper, Wyoming, gave me a call and said they had a sports opening there. So I started working in Casper, and I was there for a little over a year. And the one memory I have of working there is we cover high school football Fridays. I drive all over the state. And I drive in the state during the middle of winter when there's blizzards, and I was white-knuckling it the whole way. So I'm surprised I actually survived that and moved on from there, and then went to South Texas for a little bit. High school football out there was terrific, and then finally I was able to get a break and caught on here at Fox 5 in my hometown, and I couldn't be happier to be working in my hometown here at Fox.
And let's talk about, obviously there's no major league teams here, but we got a lot of sports action here in Las Vegas. Can you talk a little bit about how you go about covering those?
Well, I call Vegas the #1 sports event city in the world, and there's no question about that. We may not have a major league franchise out here, but there's just so much. Last weekend, I was at the the Floyd Mayweather fight against Robert Guerrero. That was an awesome atmosphere. We sell out that. We sell out UFC. We got NASCAR out here. And my personal favorite is when USA Basketball comes to town. You've got LeBron and Kobe and all those guys. It's just one thing after another thing after another thing, and it's just awesome to be around that and to be able to speak to those guys and cover those cities or those stories. It's a lot of fun.
Do you think we'll ever get a major league franchise here?
I hope so. We've been waiting for it for a long time. Again, growing up here, I mean, it's just a long time coming. Step one is the arena. We don't know when the MGM's going to build theirs. I mean, they kind of left it open-ended. We're waiting for the UNLV Now project to get started. Once we break ground on an arena, I think that's going to open up a whole bunch of doors to finally get that major league team out here in Vegas. Let's hope it happens, because it will keep me in work for sure.
For sure. And let's talk a little bit more about UNLV. So, Running Rebels, Mike Mosier just announced he's going to Oregon. What do you think about that?
Interesting. You know, it's curious to find out why Mike left. I mean, maybe he was just upset. You know, he comes back from that injury and he didn't get enough playing time when he came back. So maybe he was not necessarily upset about that, but an adjustment for him. Obviously, he's going to an Oregon program that did really well this year, winning the Pac-12 tournament here in Las Vegas. I think he's going to fit in well with that system. We're going to miss him here. There's no question about that with the departure of Anthony Bennett. Obviously, we need some front court help. We've got a lot of transfers coming in, but you don't know what you get with transfers. So Mike's departure is tough. It's interesting, like I said, but I certainly understand him wanting to be closer to home.
And then let's talk about the football team a little bit. You got Bobby Howe, who's trying to get this team on the right track. You think it's going to happen this year? You think this is the year?
Well, it's a make or break year for Bobby. That's what I know for sure. I mean, he's gone on the record. He says bowl eligible or bust, and that's what he's got to do. He's got to win 6 games this year. And talent-wise, I mean, I think he's finally built the talent level high enough to where, you know, that this team is capable of it. We certainly had a lot of games last year. I think it was 3 or 4 fourth-quarter leads that this team let slip away from them. So based on what they did last year, again, another 2-win season, it looked bad, but on the field, the product was better. So we know they're improving. They just got to turn it into wins. And like I said, it's a make or break year for Bobby. Either he does it this year or he may be looking for a new job.
Well, John, we're out of time already, but thanks so much for coming in today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right, and stay tuned. We'll have more Game On right after the break.
You could choose to join a gang. You could try the latest drugs. You could even choose to drop out of school. You can try to avoid the difficulties in life with a quick fix, or you can face them head on. She did. Make the right choices today and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. Fact is, if you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. 1 in 5 Americans is likely to develop a form of skin cancer during their lifetime. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. It could be the save of a lifetime. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Hey guys, welcome back to Game On. I'm here now with Stefan Klein. Stefan is a Cadet Commander Sergeant Major, ROTC, here at UNLV. How you doing today, Stefan?
Pretty good.
Oh, good. Thanks so much for coming in. Let's talk about ROTC, your experience here, 2.5 years at UNLV. What's it been like?
It's been a pretty rough ride. At first, you start out, you fill in roles. So leadership is the thing that's promoted at ROTC. So you essentially fill leadership roles. So in your first years, you essentially fill the roles of privates and specialists. And then as you move up through the program, you take higher leadership positions, therefore filling higher leadership roles. So once you hit what's called your MS3 year or your junior year, you will become a MS3, and you will take on the roles of NCOs and lower ranking officers. And from there, you are challenged not only physically and mentally, but in all aspects of Army knowledge, and eventually put to the test during a summer program called LDAC, where you get assessed, graded, and eventually get placed in the Army from there.
Obviously, you've done a great job with it, going off here to active duty. Talk a little bit about where you're going here.
I will be going to South Korea. I first have a few training events. I will be cadre at an event called LTC, which is a cadet train-up program. And then I will transition to my, it's called BOLIC B, or Officer Basic Course, and I will learn how to become an MP officer, and I will be a second lieutenant. And once that's over, I will not deploy, but I will be sent to Korea and be stationed there.
I'll have to thank you again for your service, obviously. Before we get this demonstration going, everybody worldwide, thank you guys so much.
Well, thank you guys for your support.
Of course. Now let's do some ROTC work, some demonstration, because we're not just standing up for nothing here. Let's get some time.
All right, well, the first thing I'll have you do is get down in a push-up position.
Sure.
And we call this the front-leaning rest. So if you extend out, there you go. That's a front-leaning rest position right there. So what we'll do is,
this is fun.
Is 4 count push-ups.
Okay.
So I'll count 1, you'll go down.
Okay.
And then 2, come back up.
Okay.
And then 3 back down.
Okay.
And then you'll count the number of repetitions we're on. So that'd be
1.
1.
And then back up.
That makes sense?
Gotcha.
All right, so you ready?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3.
1.
1, 2, 3.
2.
1, 2, 3.
3.
1, 2, 3.
4.
1, 2, 3.
5.
Okay, recover.
All right.
Notice how at the last repetition, when we finished, the inflection of my voice changed ever so slightly.
Right.
That's to indicate to everyone that we'll be finishing with that specific exercise.
Gotcha. Very nice. So at the end, you have to tail it off a little bit, right?
All right, correct.
All right, what else are we going to do here?
Then we can also do sit-ups. I'll let you kind of do these ones on your own.
Okay. Got a lot of wires on me, so.
Hopefully don't crush anything. You're going to take your hands, you're going to interlock your fingers.
Okay.
And put them behind your head.
Let me turn this way so they can actually see what we're doing here. Okay.
So interlock behind your head, feet on the ground.
Okay.
And then during what's called the APFT, or Army Physical Fitness Test, we would be doing these sit-ups and you'd be graded. So on the test, I would hold your feet here and you'd interlock your hands behind your head.
Okay.
And you'd come up and do full sit-ups.
Just do a full one?
Yep. and your shoulder blades have to touch the ground.
So I have to go fully down.
Yep. So that'd be 1.
Okay.
We count the repetitions when your head, or when you're back at the rest position down at the bottom right there. That makes sense?
Gotcha.
So those are Army standard push-ups.
Sit-ups, push-ups we've covered. What else can we do?
If you want to stay put where you're at,
Oh,
you
great.
Put your hands underneath your bottom right here.
Okay.
And then lift your legs up off the ground 6 inches. All right, and then just like scissors, we call these flutter kicks.
Just the flutters?
Just flutters. We also do these as 4 counts. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, so on and so forth.
Gotcha.
So those would be those. We also do a lot of air squats. So if you stand up for me,
Get
please.
up with you. So many wires, so little time. All right.
And then it's easier if you put your hands out. You can put them behind your head, on your waist, wherever's comfortable for you. And you're gonna come down, squat deep, and you want to try to break parallel.
With the knees there?
With your knees right there. And then come back up, pushing with your heels. So all the way down and all the way back up.
All the way down, all the way back up?
All the way back up.
Perfect. Well, Stefan, hey, thank you so much for teaching me how to do all this stuff. And like I said, thank you so much for your service, man.
Thanks for the support.
Of course. Time now for a quick break, but more of Game On afterwards. Stay tuned.
At what age is the color that your skin was meant to be no longer beautiful? Every year, millions of young women try to change the skin they were born with and say they die for darker skin. Sadly, some actually do. Melanoma is the second most common cancer in teens and young adults 15 to 29. And 1 person dies from melanoma every hour. It's time. Change your thinking, not your skin. Stop tanning. Learn more at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
If you could see anything in the world, what would it be?
I'd love to see Paris.
I like to see cupcakes falling from the sky.
My daughter, married and happy.
I want to see things the way I used to.
Chances are, someone you love may one day be affected by macular degeneration or glaucoma. Log on to seeabettertomorrow.org or call 1-800-437-2423 to learn about glaucoma and macular degeneration. Call 1-800-437-2423 or log on to seeabettertomorrow.org.
I just want to see more of the things I love.
All right, we welcome you back from the break. Well, every time, from time to time, we like to fit in a tutorial, one of our own learning how to do a sport outside of their comfort zone. Well, this week, Farinino's dabbled with MMA fighting. Have a look.
MMA, or mixed martial arts, is a sport that continues to grow in popularity, especially in the Las Vegas Valley. MMA is a combat sport involving skill, as well as an understanding of many fighting techniques such as boxing, wrestling, Muay Thai, and many others. Las Vegas resident Weston Dushin has had a passion for the sport for many years.
I got a scholarship to wrestle at Iowa State University, where I lettered and All-American, and then that kind of got me into MMA.
Failing to make the cut for the Olympic boxing team, Weston found new hope in discovering the world of MMA.
I didn't make the Olympics in 04 and 08, and this was the next thing to keep me active and also make a little money.
But competing in an unconventional sport comes with many misconceptions.
A lot of people think it's barbaric because they see blood, and there's a lot more skills that go into that.
Skills that I was interested in learning myself. At Extreme Couture Gym in Las Vegas, Weston and I started my training by warming up on the treadmill, followed by some weight training. Moving on to fighting techniques, we started with basic boxing moves. First, we found my power punch.
The power punch is usually the hand that you write with.
Oh, okay, my right then.
Yeah.
Then he showed me how to set up my power punch.
And then.
So 1, 1, 2.
Yep.
All right. Moving on from punches, we learned how to kick.
I'm teaching you kicks.
Kicks, okay.
Yes, but I'm going to set it up with my hands. Okay. So it's just like 1, 2, and then I'm coming in and bam.
Oh. Weston was quick to show me the proper way to kick to avoid injury. He instructed me to hit with my shin bone and not my foot.
Right where it's not even...
Oh, okay. You don't want to use your foot?
No.
Got it. Understanding the basic movement, I tried out the kick on Weston.
Your power kick is going to be the same side as your hand.
Okay. So let's try this.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to set it 1, 2, kick.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay, so I need a little more foot off, right?
Yes.
So I got to kick it with my shin. Okay, so 1, 2, kick.
Yes.
Lastly, Weston showed me the move that usually ends the fight.
We're in the mount position.
Okay.
And from this position, this is pretty much game over, because if you get in this position, you should finish the fight.
They're going down, huh?
Yeah. Because if I get in this position, that's like, I did it, now I'm just gonna punch until the ref pulls me off.
Okay.
Just
punch him. What else can you do?
You can also just throw just nice elbows.
Oh. Okay.
So.
That's harder than it looks.
Yeah.
Wow. With a bit more practice, maybe one day I could enter the octagon. Thank you so much, Weston, for showing me the moves of MMA. I feel like I could be a real champ now.
You can. You did great.
Thank you so much. Welcome. For Game On, this is Farron Enos.
Thanks so much, Farron. It was great. Time for a quick break, but when we get back, our final thoughts, and we look ahead to next week's show. Stay with us.
For others, it may have just been a summer job. But for me, it was training. Now I'm an Air Force pararescueman, and my job is to save lives. Make the right choices today and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Winston, just one more inning, Grandma.
Ever notice how many things today kids can do without actually moving? A whole lot of things their parents used to do the hard way. So many kids' activities today seem to leave out the activity part, which makes exercise even more important for children. In fact, new research tells us the best time to enhance bone development is during childhood and adolescence. And just getting children to walk an extra 35 minutes a day could spare them the pain of thinning bones later in life. Healthy bones come from healthy habits. Encourage your kids to get up, get out, and get moving.
Hello.
Hey, Grandma, how about another grape soda?
A public service message on building strong bones for kids from the Pediatric Orthopedic Society of North America and the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Welcome back from the break. Well, Stephen, I think it's time to get you into a gym to do some MMA. I've done working out with ROTC. Now you need to do MMA as well.
And I'm very out of shape, too, so I could use some of that. But we'll see if I get to a gym sometime soon.
Hang in there, kid. We'll get you there.
Okay.
Well, that does it for this week's show. If you'd like to catch up on past episodes of Game On, all you have to do is go to UNLV-TV.unlv.edu. I'm Austin Innick.
And I'm Stephen Marsh. Thanks for joining us. And until next time, have a good one, Las Vegas.